Week 7, Fantasy Access. Here we are at the table. Cam, Tim, and Jared.
Why aren't you doing that? Yeah. There you go.
Bringing the action. Let's go. Oh, how's you guys' week going?
Pretty good.
I'm just checking in.
Yeah.
Good. Is that the welcome question?
No, I got other questions, but
all right.
Just doing well. The weather's turned. We were in that
it's fall.
Late October.
It's fall. It's fall.
Yeah, we've got the lay of the land on some of this fantasy stuff. NFL getting into hopefully,
and then things happen and you don't. So,
but yeah, week 7 here. We got our typical segments here on Doc. We got your headlines, you chop it up, a couple of hot takes, and we'll talk about our games. But we'll get right into it with the quick question, which is, who is your biggest fantasy bust this season, non-injury related?
Ooh.
I don't know if that was obvious or not, but
that is a good one. Non-injury bust. Whew.
So far you got anyone on that Bengals offense.
I was gonna say, does Joe Burrow count as a non-injury? Just been sort of disappointing.
I feel like he's been playing, so even though it's because of the injury, I would say that
does that count?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, maybe it's Burrow then, or somebody associated with that offense, like you said. If you were expecting big points, even from if you had their kicker, McPherson, you're expecting big points from anybody on that offense. They haven't been producing the way that you've anticipated. So I like that one. Somebody that's on the Bengals offense.
Yeah, that's a good one. You could throw Joe Mixon in there too with that group, obviously, because he's on their offense.
Right.
But at least mention him.
Not clear.
So we just mention him because he's had a lot of opportunity. Which last year that was his story, second most expected fantasy points, and it didn't really come to fruition. And so far, it's been more of the same this year, which is kind of too bad. I feel like that third round of drafts this year, some of those running backs. I know Jared doesn't like this one, but Jahmyr Gibbs, I know he got a little bit injured.
Yeah, I think that's a fair one.
I was expecting more out of him
so far.
He was on my draft board. I wanted a piece. Didn't end up happening, and then it was definitely less of him and more Montgomery so far to start this season.
Montgomery was drafted way later, and is clearly the guy round, so far. I keep saying so far as if it might turn. Well,
that's the thing. Yeah. We got breakouts later on this show, and some of these busts could turn things around. So you never know. But yeah, so Jahmyr Gibbs would maybe be mine. Anybody else over there, Jared?
Hunter Henry. We said that we thought the tight ends are Patriot tight ends. I think we thought they said at the beginning. I think we can run the tape back. In the first show, that would be the position to target. That's a non-injury bust.
Yeah,
I think if there was anyone on that Patriots offense you could draft, it would be Hunter Henry. I didn't really believe in him. Friend of the show, Pat, drafted him in our league, and everyone kind of clowned him for it. But after week 1 and 2, it looked pretty good for him. But then he's laid some goose eggs. So
what about Ramondre Stevenson?
See, that's third round. Yeah,
that's right.
Bust. Yeah,
that's kind of a big bust. Chris Olave has been really disappointing.
Yeah, he has been disappointing because he was the third round wide receiver. He's getting targets. He's like a Mixon, or he just hasn't had a touchdown yet, and I don't know. It's just not all coming together for him. But you got to think out of all of them that we've said so far, I feel like he could turn it around the easiest.
Yeah, I think
he's just got to cash in a little bit.
96 yards last week.
He's had a couple high yardage games.
He had he needs to put one of the high yardage games together with a touchdown
or two. Let's get back to the mean of touchdowns with that amount of opportunity.
We said that was going to be an issue for them. Was that one, just in general the offense, but two, he was the guy last year, and now he doesn't have to be the guy anymore.
Well, that's that same thing with the David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs thing. We thought it was going to be Gibbs. It ended up being Montgomery. And then in this one, it's we thought it was going to be Olave all the way, but now Michael Thomas is actually a decent.
Caught 5 balls last week.
Decent receiver again.
4 balls for 65 the week before. So, Michael Thomas is still Michael Thomas.
Right.
Still a big-bodied receiver that gets physical and, can't guard Mike.
Right,
So
exactly.
He'll tell you.
Yeah, I think
if you ask him, he'll tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
I think some of our expectations coming into the season can set us up for some of these busts, like those two scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just some guys that, perennial good players that just haven't produced. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've got them on your team, any of those guys, hopefully they either bounce back or you're able to pivot at some point and recover.
Hopefully you picked up on some booms
Right.
to
Exactly.
help recover.
All right. We'll get into some top headlines, and if you guys have any other ones, but couple new injuries. It's been a rough injury year. We've had a few guys go out for the season, and then it seems like every week there's guys going to IR or
And some top
missing a couple games.
top producing fantasy players
Yeah,
that have to sit.
it's crazy. So we'll stop right at the top, and luckily, there's only maybe one on this list that's going to IR or out for the season. But we'll start with Christian McCaffrey, who might play Monday or might miss just a game. He's got
Right.
a rib injury.
The extra day might help,
Yeah, they're playing Monday night.
I mean,
but
he's
it
been
doesn't help.
absolute stud.
It doesn't help fantasy owners trying to.
Yeah, unless you have like Elijah Mitchell on your bench,
Right.
Figure out.
or,
I-
or the other guy there,
yeah.
Mason.
In one of my
grabbed him.
Did you? Yeah.
Quickly, yeah.
Right.
Might
Yeah.
have overpaid for it, but
Who knows? He had a good game.
In McCaffrey's absence, yeah.
Right.
like in one of my leagues with McCaffrey, I opted to pick up Jordan Mason.
That's what you
Yes.
said.
Yeah.
Yep. Instead of I could have used my waiver priority to pick someone like Zach Evans, just because I'd rather have the backup plan
Yes.
to my player
That's
directly.
more valuable for you to have.
Right.
Yeah. Mason.
Yeah, and that's not a bad guy to just. He's there for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
One is like McCaffrey is somebody that has an injury history and getting through the year, even if it's not this one, a future one could be a problem.
True.
Future injury. Two, they play so many, like it seems like they're capable of playing blowout games. That's somebody that's going to see like the garbage time
Right.
yards from the running back position. So there's potentially like garbage time yards and touchdowns. He already has one. Mason already has one of those garbage time touchdowns. So I think McCaffrey going down opens up opportunities for him. And again, one of those plug and play offenses that, it seems like you could have, a running back off the street come in and score 10 points in fantasy. So
Right.
Yeah, that San Fran like Monday night game is a little bit tough because you don't know if McCaffrey's going to play. Then you just said Jordan Mason, and like he ran well last week, and Elijah Mitchell hardly got in, but he was active. They said he didn't have much practice time, but then last year Mitchell was pretty good, so it's like kind of hard to know which one to pick or plan for. But I guess if you get whatever one you can on your team and see how it goes. But yeah, McCaffrey with his 13 or 14 game scoring streak.
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
like making sure he gets
I think
a
they got
touchdown
it to
now.
13.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored first drive.
Right.
Maybe they just put him in on Monday, have him score it, and take him out.
Right.
I'm not.
Get him down to the one. Have him follow Jusic,
Yeah.
or what's his
Use
name?
check.
Juszczyk.
Yeah.
Have him follow him into the end zone.
Weirdly,
just to
that
get it.
guy might be like,
Yeah,
the
they
pick
could-
up, right?
right.
Like, he could have
At
been
least for
one.
the touchdown upside, he'll just
Right.
give it to him on like the 3-yard line and he'll
right.
pound it in.
So, and he's good for a pass or two
Yeah.
as well. I don't see anything on whether he practiced today. They're 3 hours behind, so
McCaffrey, yeah.
He's listed as day to day.
Right. So keep an eye on that one. Next one, we got David Montgomery, who injured
did
a
not practice.
thigh earlier in the season. Now he's got a rib as well. Coach, I think, said that he would be possibly out for a game or two, but he's just questionable. So I don't know if he's completely like off the table this week. Kind of conflicting reports there. But yeah, he's been great. Touchdown monster, really.
Yeah.
So I guess they don't. I don't think they have to list doubtful until Friday.
Okay.
I think that's a thing. Maybe at least maybe I made that up.
Sounds
I
good.
don't know.
That sounds really
right.
smart. Like,
So
wow, he's dialed in.
look for that. Look for that tomorrow. That's what I would say.
And
He hasn't practiced in 2 days.
you got Reynolds as his backup, and also potentially Gibbs coming back for a get right
back.
game.
Yeah.
Potentially, maybe.
So we'll see about that. One player who is listed as doubtful already is Justin Fields with his thumb dislocated last game. Obviously, I'm trying to start him. I have been all year.
You did say that.
I picked up Geno Smith as a spot start against Arizona.
Smash spot?
Spot start,
Oh.
not a smash spot.
Oh.
Maybe I'd love it if it was a smash spot,
right.
but a spot start.
Well, obviously, I was wrong about the doubtful thing because Justin Fields is listed as doubtful. So I don't.
Maybe they don't
No, you
have
could
to
still
list
be
them
right.
as doubtful.
Like they could just have done it.
Okay.
they don't
yeah,
maybe
I
have
don't know.
to
There's
do
like
it.
rule. I don't.
I believe you. That sounds
Okay.
good.
I
I like.
thought that was.
I liked it in the past. They had a probable, a questionable, and a doubtful, and they could kind of play with those.
Yeah.
But then they got rid of probable, and now doubtful is used for like special circumstances. So it's hard to gauge the severity.
Yeah, it's just a Q or a D.
Right.
D's are not looking
Yeah.
good.
D's are not good. D's usually turn into O's.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just chopping it up.
Yeah.
It's
not even-
chopping.
Oh man. So yeah, Fields. Maybe it's just me left playing him, and that's
No.
the only one bummed about. No, he had 2 good games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never knew what would have happened if
You're the only
finished
one that
other
probably
one.
played them both those weeks.
That's true.
Hope expecting good.
Everyone was
things.
like, I got to see it at least twice,
Right.
and then you played him this week and you got hurt.
Right. Right.
So yeah, bummer about him. He was looking pretty good. 2 high finishes in back-to-back weeks. So hopefully he's not out too long. I would not count on him this week, but hopefully not too long. I'm gonna skip that one and we'll come back to it. But just because we're talking about people who are injured and out, we got Anthony Richardson is our out for season candidate on this
Dunzo.
list.
Yeah.
Which too bad. I liked his I don't know, his electricity playmaking.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he kind of brought some juice to that offense, rushing the ball, and I mean that's probably why he's taking those hits and stuff. But I don't know, he had something.
Do you go get Gardner Minshew if
He could
if
be
you
a
had
spot
Anthony
start.
Richardson?
Yeah,
It's, I mean,
it's not a smash
think
spot.
not
Spot
a
start.
spot. But he's got a little of the electricity, and he captivated fantasy owners a few years ago with his play. So
I think he's fine in terms of you can keep starting Pittman, you can keep starting playing downs here and there. I don't
He
know.
actually might make them better because there's less
Yeah.
rushing.
Right.
I
So
think the past game that he played,
right.
it was a ton of passing attempts. For him.
Right. So I think it's Minshew is good for fantasy just for the wide receivers. I don't know if he himself is going to be a good play. Maybe a spot start here and there, but probably no smash spot.
yes, definitely not a smash.
Maybe we just do a segment called Spot Start or Smash Spot.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, Richardson, rookie, out for the year. Too bad, but I'm sure he'll be back next year and ready to rock and roll. The other, I don't think he's on IR, but injury, Kyron Williams, kind of surprise, caught fire early in the season, has been good for fantasy players on the Rams. He's out. That's, you mentioned Evans.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Zach Evans.
Zach Evans,
the
maybe
backup there in
taking over.
LA. But then they signed like a bunch of, I think Royce Freeman's on the team. They just signed Darrell Henderson to the practice squad.
They lost a Ronnie Hillman too, which is a backup, I think, to
Yeah.
Evans
So
or somebody.
it
Yeah,
seems like Evans is kind of in line just to
He's been
kind of
with
be
the
the
team,
guy.
yeah.
He's been with the team.
By default.
But they did kind of sign some people, have a couple other people on the practice squad. So
yeah. Probably kind of like see how this week goes because he's the only one
Right.
like available and up to speed. And if he does well, maybe he's got a good job going, like a pretty good job going forward. And if not, he'll probably get mixed in with other guys. All right, then we get 2 on this list that are guys coming back. Kyler
Your
back in
boy.
practice. Is Kyler my boy? He might be.
Well,
sure.
I mean,
Is
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Do you replace
I don't know,
Justin Fields
Dobbs
with
is
Kyler?
Oh no.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
Ride it
No,
out.
I mean, that's obviously my answer.
I
Can't read a defense for anything, but yeah. What does this mean for us, Kyle?
I mean, I don't know. It's with Dobbs playing pretty well, but it's like Kyler's been a top quarterback. I don't know. Does it mean anything? Are we thinking that they would go back to him?
I
When would
would
he
imagine.
Is
So
he still on the
they
pup list?
I
Is he
think
been
they took him off.
activated?
They took him off the pup, but he was limited participant in practice on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
It's kinda
maybe they
confusing.
give him another week or so. Because they don't have to rush him back.
Right.
There's also the possibility that they trade him because they just like Dobbs so much, but they're not exactly tanking anymore because they won a couple games, a few
Yeah.
games. So
I don't know how that will
the
shake
Cardinals are kind of in a really weird spot where, like, they're not tanking anymore.
Right.
They're not competing.
They're not awful.
They're not competing with the one-win teams that are out there.
Sure.
And so it's like Kyler is probably the better quarterback, but Dobbs has been the one playing this season in this system and like doing it well.
Right. Yeah, you can't really go away from that. I don't know. Something to keep an eye on. We'll see, but just a good player that's going to be back and available to that team. And the last one, probably not fantasy relevant, but Julio Jones.
The Cardinals
That
are
is
one.
back.
your boy.
Yeah,
you
I love
you
Julio.
love yourself some Julio.
You sure do.
I lied. The Cardinals are 1-5.
They're 1-5. Yeah, I just checked that. But I don't.
They seem to be playing better than their
playing
record. So
harder.
maybe they do just tank. Maybe they
I
trade
think they
Kyler.
kept some
and-
games close and like
Right.
haven't looked awful, but haven't also won that much.
Dang. All right, so maybe they trade Kyler and try to get Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, replace one Lincoln Riley quarterback that can't play for another. That's going to be just great.
Oh, is that the take?
I'll hot take that. I mean, this is the most ridiculous story. Like, it's not fantasy relevant. It is legitimately the most ridiculous story in sports that his representatives have floated that he's only going to go to a team if he's offered ownership stake. Like, what?
Yeah. Who do
You got to be
think
kidding
are?
me,
Yeah.
right? Like, you just lost to Notre Dame,
Right.
right? Like, you couldn't handle like their defense, yet somehow you want an NFL team to give you ownership
Stock
share,
in the company. Yeah.
right? Like, didn't like Tom Brady try that and didn't get nixed? Like, I feel like this has been, or somebody tried that. Maybe it was Russell Wilson. So like an established NFL player tried to get an ownership stake when they moved teams. I thought it was Tom Brady, and the NFL was like, yeah, we don't. That's not gonna. We don't do that.
No, thank you.
So
Hard pass.
Yeah. Right. And which Lincoln Riley quarterback has, lit it up in the NFL? Is it Kyler Murray? Not really.
Not really.
Is it your boy Baker Mayfield?
Nope.
Nope. Jalen Hurts only played 1 year there. That's an Alabama guy. Like, don't this is.
I love it. I like the
yeah.
take.
Go ahead, everybody. Draft Caleb Williams first, and then leave. All the other guys next year that are in the rookie draft to me. That's fine. Not a problem.
Well, I've been on X, Twitter.
Yeah.
And I look at Justin Fields news and stuff, and everyone's like, oh, like, trade Fields, get Caleb Williams. I'm like, absolutely not. You got to be out of your mind. I don't know. I think Fields is talented. He's got some stuff to work on, but I don't know that that's, like, the answer. And you don't go away from a guy with that kind of, like,
Yeah.
skill. I don't know.
Like,
Playmaking ability for an unknown commodity.
Yes.
He's a little too big for his britches.
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, I like it.
Little tangent.
Right. And yeah, Julio's back. He's on the Eagles. I don't think it matters, but we all love some Julio.
Yeah.
So although we just chopped up a lot in that last segment, we're now officially chopping it up.
I just realized you spelled predictions. It's amazing.
That was a typo. I don't
It's
think
like very phonetic.
I don't know where that X came from.
Predictions.
Well, you've been on Twitter so much that you've just thrown random X's into words.
That's pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah. So this week on chopping it up, I just thought we'd kind of chat about some teams. They're just kind of some underperforming. Some we don't know if they can keep it up. So we'll start at the top with our teams, and we can start with you.
Our Jets.
Our Jets. This is a Jets Pats show. So I mean, losing Aaron Rodgers early, they've struggled, but Zach Wilson
Been playing well the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
He looks like an NFL quarterback. Which is saying a lot, seeing so you couldn't throw the ball from here to there. And by the way, for those of us that can't see
It's
off
not
camera
too
behind,
far.
it's very close. You should be able to throw that. But yeah, you're not seeing that stuff anymore. You're seeing him get rid of the ball quickly. So I think he finally needed a quarterback coach. He has a quarterback coach that is creating a good environment for him, and having Wilson, the other Wilson,
that helps.
Garrett Wilson doesn't hurt either. So, but he's making throws now.
It
he
seemed-
had a great throw in the Eagles game down the sideline to Garrett Wilson. It was placed perfectly. That's the kind of stuff you like seeing going forward.
Yeah, it seems like the coaching staff has done a good job with this situation. Whether it's Saleh, like what he said about sticking with Wilson or whatever early on when it was kind of I mean, that's probably the right call, right? You don't have that many options. Yeah, he got dragged through the media for that, but probably not. That's the play. Stick behind him and then game plan so that he can get those short throws and then take shots when it makes sense to, instead of just I feel like in the past he was just hey, go out there, make something happen, sling it around. Or it was too much.
It was also a lot of forced into really bad situations for a quarterback. We're going to run the ball into the line first and second down, and then we'll have 3rd and 9. And
Right.
And that's when the blitz comes, and no one likes to be blitzed. No quarterback likes to have the pressure in their face. So I think they'll certainly be in it going forward, and I think there are multiple fantasy relevant players on that team,
Especially Brees.
Yeah,
We like Brees a lot.
He's the biggest recipient of a resurgent
offense that's
Zach
moving.
Wilson.
Yeah, right. And then we love that defense. I mean, they've been solid.
Yeah, I didn't start them last week because I don't know. I just didn't.
Philly, yeah.
Because it was Philadelphia.
Makes
and
sense.
They scored a lot of points.
They're just gonna tush push all around the field.
Right. So
Brotherly shove.
Right. Yeah, that defense is legit.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, that's probably been my biggest fantasy. Now that we're talking about this, but we're chopping it up.
Yeah,
my biggest fantasy success this year has probably if you're an individual player, a defensive player league, we are.
IDP,
Quincy, not Quinnen, but Quincy's brother Williams might be the best linebacker in the NFL. He has 10, 12 tackles a game. So that's just racking up extra points.
For sure.
And you have a defensive player scoring a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Which is
it is nice.
It's nice.
I like
to
the
have
IDP leagues just because it's it gives you something else to watch, some defense, and you get the few guys that like him making tackles, and you try to pick that and find that guy each year. It's adds another layer to the fantasy season. So if you haven't had those in your league, maybe give them a shot. I think they're fun. Yeah.
Explore.
Now our Pats.
What do you guys think about the Pats?
It's been a rough couple weeks, and Mac Jones. I think it's the whole offense, but he doesn't have the playmaking ability. I don't know. What do you want to say about him?
I think it is the whole offense, and Mac Jones is.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones is equally bad in that bad offense. There's no
exactly.
It's
doesn't look. There's no shred of hope.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no bright
even
spot.
making a false start on the first offensive play from scrimmage last week, right? Things like that. It's not even interceptions. It's that. So sorry, I cut you off.
It's not even watching the game because I was doing something else, and there was no part of me that was I kind of want to try to peek at the score.
I don't want to miss a big play.
Right. There was nothing. It was everyone my age. I'm 24 years old. I think we all agree this is the worst Patriots season we've seen in our lives.
Yeah. It's
just
sad.
It sucks. Go Celtics.
Right.
They're loading up.
That's what I love about Boston sports. We can move on.
Yeah. It's always somebody in the mix. I do like the Patriots defense.
Yeah,
they have a good.
Any
good
fantasy
linebacking
relevant
crew.
players on the Patriots?
Not really.
Not even the running backs.
Not even a kicker.
I mean,
Not even a kicker.
Ramondre.
Yeah, he's
been
missing
bad.
kicks.
He's like 50%.
Yeah.
They also just don't get in field goal range,
Right.
so they can't even kick those.
You probably flex Ramondre, but it's not great.
Matchup dependent, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he hurt? He's hurt too, isn't he? Didn't he?
Oh, I didn't think he was.
I thought he was.
I didn't think he was hurt.
Maybe. I don't know. Guess we can look that up.
So
Yeah,
Maybe-
keep chopping.
yeah,
Maybe
just
someone
things
said that as
things
an
don't look
excuse or something.
bright right now for the Pats. I don't know what more we can really say.
I would
about
say
them.
tank for Caleb Williams, but apparently that's not.
He's on the
It's not a
injury
good idea.
report. No, it's
Yeah.
a bad idea.
Trade
he
for
has an ankle
somebody.
injury, and he was limited on Wednesday.
No.
No, the best quarterback coming out is going to be that guy from.
Duke guy.
I like that guy too.
Washington.
Leonard, Penix from Washington, but he's lefty. That's cool. But
Love me a lefty.
Yeah, that's why you like him. No, the quarterback from North Carolina, May, I think is his name. He's
I like your beat on the college football scene.
trying to get you onto this for years.
Right.
Screaming.
It's good for the show. It's good
Screaming
for
Ohio State wide receivers at you, like showing you like.
Right. Oh, Justin Fields is going to be good. Like, yeah, right. Now I'm like, oh, I got to start
No,
every
it
week.
started with Terry McLaurin. I was like showing you
Oh,
like
yeah,
game
yeah.
tape in your house.
That was a great call.
Like, this guy's gonna be good.
But then week one, he like broke out like
Yeah.
right off the bat, and I was like, dang, good call.
Like, oh, who would have known?
Who follows college football?
People that follow college football.
Unless you're on Colorado.
Right.
Well, that's a different. That's another quarterback that might be coming out. Maybe the
Right.
Patriots will get
Shedeur, yeah.
Shedeur Sanders and Flash's watch.
There you go.
At, Jets fans when they play.
Dion can replace Belichick.
That was like a legitimate thing that like I think people are starting to bring up, like as it becomes clear his time in New England is wrapping up.
Right.
Like who's the replacement?
That'd be wild. I don't know.
Dion.
That'd be something. Imagine what New England would do with that.
That would be
Imagine going
such a
Probably not that
flip.
different from Colorado.
A complete 180 in
Coming in with sunglasses
Right.
and it's not moving.
The
microphone.
swagger
Yeah.
would just ramp all the way up.
Oh man, that'd be wild.
Probably be good for us.
All right, let's keep chopping.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So I just picked a couple other teams. This show, we like the Saints. They've been kind of
Our Saints
stagnant.
show. Yeah.
Like Kamara's had like, I think averaging like 17 to 19 touches.
They just aren't
a few catches, and
scoring
it's like
points the way we like thought they would
Yeah.
with Derek Carr.
all those
Right.
touches, no touchdowns.
Like you got 3 talented wide receivers.
all those touches, no touchdowns. It's like,
You have a running back that might be on the tail end of things, but like is still at least
okay,
should
yeah.
be. He's not Dalvin Cook, like who is cooked, it seems.
Right.
But like, yeah, unless they're apparently playing the Patriots, here are their point totals: 13, 9, 17, 20, 16. So they're under
Still
the
barely
league
cracked 20,
average
yeah.
of like about 20 points. That's not what we thought
Right.
coming in. And they have got a really good defense that can keep them in games. But there is some concern, I would say, about those Saints.
Yeah. I feel like that's a team that could put it together.
Man, I'll have to pick them later, too. I don't really
Yeah.
want to go to the Super Bowl.
Like, I'll take the Jags.
Man.
So yeah, Saints just there's just meat on the bone there. I feel like for
Yeah,
us,
I
and
love that. Meat on the bone.
and we're just not getting it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump down one, but because I feel like it's kind of similar. Maybe a little different, but the Browns have unbelievable defense. They beat the
Shut
49ers.
down the 49ers.
Shut down the 49ers. It's a tough.
McCaffrey got hurt. and
away.
sure.
McCaffrey hurt. Debo hurt.
But that's
They
crazy.
did it with PJ Washington.
Walker.
In the
Walker.
rain. PJ Walker.
Whoever PJ.
I don't know. He might be a better
W.
quarterback than Deshaun Watson at this point.
Seriously.
And
And like Amari Cooper went over 100 yards with
Yeah.
him. Like it's not awful, but the D's just so
Kareem
good.
Hunt scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
The
What year
defense
is
is
it?
good.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah,
a-
right. Yeah.
49ers have a good D too. So like the fact that they were able to stop them and score enough to like
and let's
win
be real,
is,
they
like,
should have. The 49ers NFL kicker makes that kick a lot, and they should have
Sure.
won the game. I think there's a lot being made like about the 49ers. Hostile environment. Winning in the league is hard. Winning in the league on the road is hard. Winning in the league on the road when it's raining is even harder. So, like,
True.
I'm not reading too much into that.
Sure.
About the 49ers. But where are the Browns sitting? Are they 3-3?
3-2.
3-2.
They had their bye already.
Okay, so that's a bit of a, what do you call it? They're gonna bang heads in that division.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably gonna get ugly. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect out of them.
4-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-3. It's that division right now.
Yeah. But I think Brown's got the best D of all of them.
I mean, that's sort of like the whole AFC, right? Like everybody except for the Patriots and Denver are within like 2 games of one another in that wild card area.
Yeah.
They're either 3-3 or 4-2 or 2-4. Like,
Right.
There's a lot of those middling teams right now. No one's running really
No.
except for Miami and Kansas City. Like everyone's just stuck.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Same division there. We can go with the Bengals. Seems like they're starting to put it together a little bit. Burrow and Chase connecting a little bit,
Yeah.
and I mean, we still haven't seen it from Mixon. We said that was kind of some of our busts so far. Joe Burrow not playing his best, but they're another one I feel like they could turn it around, like
the
the
last
Saints.
2 games, have been better.
We've seen
And they
more.
get the bye week this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
like
a lot-
much needed.
Right. A lot of it seems to be stemming from the Joe Burrow injury that was nagging him more than we thought it would.
Yeah.
And maybe he's healthy now. The extra week off will help.
Yeah.
I mean, the offensive line is still kind of an issue. And that's probably why Mixon's has been struggling as much as he had. But it seems to be like their offensive line has been an issue for the past 3 for
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's entire career.
Right.
And he's produced out of it regardless. So
Right.
it should still be like they should be getting to normal.
Agreed. So yeah, I don't know. Not much to say on the Bengals, other than that. But how about my Bears? My Justin Fields Bears.
They're,
How about him?
yeah. What do
With
you
Fields
wanna say?
hurt,
Did you
I-
just put this on the chop it up?
No, I don't know. They're just without Fields. Are they cooked? Or
Yeah.
were they cooked already?
Could be.
No, it had been cooked already.
I mean, okay.
Defensive coordinators getting arrested. Wide receivers not showing up to work. Like,
Yeah, it's
or being told not to show up to work. Things are not right there.
they got to kind of burn it down and take the
which
good
is too
stuff
bad
and,
because you ran
like
out of
DJ
time
Moore,
on Justin Fields.
yeah.
Because you got to make a decision at the end of this year. Are you going to pay him for 2 more?
Right.
Are you not? Are you gonna? You're 1-5. Right now they have the top 2 picks in the draft.
Right.
So
Could trade him. I mean,
Try to get the top 3 picks. Just go nuts.
find a way to get the 3rd. But yeah, people are saying draft Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison. Like trade the 1st pick for a boatload more picks. Draft Marvin Harrison and let Justin Fields throw to him. How about that?
that's a good
With
call. Yeah,
with Moore.
DJ Moore. Yeah. That'd be
And
be
then use
something.
all those picks to draft like 7 offensive linemen.
Right.
Right? Like,
and maybe get a new OC and coach.
right.
Yeah, they're definitely at the bottom of the barrel right now. And then we'll flip on the other side. The Dolphins. Can they keep this up? I mean, does the schedule get a little tougher?
I don't know, but I do know that apparently NFL Films released like an 11-minute feature on Mike McDaniel, which
He's wild.
which I am excited to watch.
Yeah.
I would see that. Yeah.
I started watching it like before
What's it on?
this. I don't know. I saw it on your X.
Nice.
So
Your X.
Yeah, it's your.
Yeah, now it's
everything
mine.
just became yours today.
Your Bears.
Yeah, your
My boy,
Bears,
yeah.
your boys, your ex. Yeah. So I guess he was telling a story about how he like went to Denver Broncos camp all the time and like lost his hat because he tried to like trick the players into giving him multiple autographs by like pretending to be like put a hat on and then take it off so he'd look like another kid. And he lost his hat and then like one of the Denver Broncos workers like bought him a new hat and he introduced this guy to his mother. and then they got married. Like it's just like wild, and like it's about apparently that's gonna somehow transform like his career because the question was like how you got here. Like there's got to like talent, but like a little luck involved. And he started telling us like podcast goes. Sorry, I gotta pause.
Right.
I don't know. He's wild.
Such a wild card. I think he plays like fast and loose, and he is working. It's nuts.
Some point the league's probably gonna catch up to some of it. I would think, right? Like, all
I
right,
mean, you can't argue the speed.
Here's the
I
question.
think that's
Here's
the
the
X
question, right?
factor. Is they're so fast.
Is this like truly innovative, or is it like the Wildcat, which like was like whoa, and then 6-7 weeks later we're like, oh, we got the formula for how to stop that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so is this like something that's gonna last, like you're asking, or is this like a fad that some defensive coordinators are going to figure out how we deal with this motion and how we deal with the speed, and it won't be as explosive.
I think it feels like it's just one of those things where it's like scheme for Tyreek Hill all you want, like he's just going to be faster than your guys,
right? And
so
that's what
if teams figure out how to stop the zig, they're just going to zag, and it doesn't matter.
And they have multiple options. They can go to Tyreek. They can go to Waddle. They can go to Achane when he's back. They go to Mostert. They're all so fast. And, like, I feel like it's kind of – it is that 49ers, like, run defense, but they just, like, cranked up the knob a little bit with the speed. And it's like – I mean, we don't not like the 49ers offense. But it's – it works.
I saw something on X that said, like, he watches, like, old – like wing T videos from the 70s and then is like, I could do this. And like, but like does it with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and like these dudes that just like are way fast, So he's running various different schemes that like were built, whenever and are innovating them by the speed of the offensive players.
I think that's the key is having that personnel and like Tua's capable. To like execute it all, and it's a pretty good little mixture they've got going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe in a tougher matchup, we saw the Bills give them a game, and like, some of that they may be able to slow them down, but there's still going to be some explosiveness there. I don't know. Is there any other teams worth chopping it up about?
Sufficiently chopped.
Yeah. I mean, the Eagles have.
Eagles are gonna be fine.
They're fine. I feel like they're maybe not the Super Bowl team they were last year.
But I mean, they're still 5-1.
Yeah.
They just don't look like I don't know.
I suppose
as explosive. I know all the pieces are still there. The defense is maybe
the last
a little,
couple games.
Yeah.
I mean, and they play in a tough division with the Cowboys. That'll be a fun game when those come along.
Yeah. So I think we're sufficiently chopped.
Yeah, I like it. Those are good teams.
Maybe we'll talk about other teams next time.
Yes.
Get into a few hot takes here. This week we're going to just pick three different mid-season breakouts. So, guys, we think kind of on the precipice of stepping it up, maybe an opportunity change or, I don't know, just a guy you got a feeling about. You got one down there?
I'll start off with Christian Watson.
Oh,
obviously injury to start the year, and then in his couple games back, it's kind of mediocre games. But I think there's a good offense in place there.
Yeah.
Jordan Love can give him the ball. They'll figure out, and he'll be
he's due for.
He'll be worth right around where kind of people are picking him in the drafts.
I like that.
Look out for the return of Mecole Hardman to the Chiefs.
Oh, good one.
Someone who got passed in the depth chart by the Gibson, the undrafted rookie, and the guy who returns punt. Like he was going to be the punt returner. He was going to be that like gadget back, and he got passed. Well, the Chiefs seem like they could use the help,
right?
In their weapons and. He does have a previous relationship in the system with Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Hit the ground running.
He could get meaningful snaps this week.
True. Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to go with the receiver as well. We kind of touched on it earlier, but Josh Downs, Minshew's been, he's capable of getting those guys the ball. He's had a couple good weeks. I think he had like 97 yards or something that last week. And, for a kind of an unknown rookie guy to come on the scene like that, that's a pretty good game. I think they're going to keep throwing a lot, and he could be a kind of a surprise guy.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially if Minshew's
Right. If he's throwing 40
slinging.
plus times a game, yeah. You want to go again?
I'll keep my theme going of people returning to form. I think Joe Burrow is officially back.
Right, you heard it here.
He has the bye week.
He's got the
Get right.
Yeah.
Then it's they got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
And I fully expect Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase for sure.
The playoff team that we
Hopefully
thought.
Higgins is back as well as
Right.
part of this resurgence.
Get some touchdowns on that team.
Yeah.
Be good.
I told you about him last week. I'm going to tell you about him again this week. 3 weeks in a row, 3 touchdowns. Curtis Samuel in that Washington offense is going to be a guy that they use moving forward. So maybe he's already in the midst of the breakout, but I think he's going to play a big role in the offense.
I like it. I'm going to go with back to Kansas City. That rookie Rashee Rice. Seems like he's kind of taking more snaps. He's getting the ball. He's doing well with it. I could see that role continuing to grow and maybe
Expanding.
finally. I mean, Kelsey's going to be the one in that offense as far as receiving, but be nice to get a reliable receiver, at least a wide receiver 3 or a flex play that you can kind of count on consistently week in and week out. And last round, how spicy can you get?
I'm going to go with, I wrote him down earlier. Not sure how I feel about it, but I'll say it. I think Darren Waller, tough start for the Giants offense overall.
Good one.
But I think
Right now.
they can't. But if there's a player, if there's a target that Jen Jones is going to throw it to kind of
He's
correct
the
himself,
best option, yeah.
it's Darren Waller.
We need
It was
training
the guy
camp.
that
Training
it was
camp
the guy in
Giants.
preseason that guy in preseason and training camp that Daniel Jones couldn't get away from.
Right.
And
Where's that? Let's see some more.
Get
of
back to that. If that's what worked, go back to it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the best opportunity.
My concern, like the teams. So they're going to play Commanders, good defense, Jets, good defense, Cowboys, good defense, Commanders, again, good defense, Patriots, good defense, Saints, good defense, Eagles.
it's a tough
Eagles,
schedule.
he's got, and I think is Daniel Jones going to play? I think he's out.
He still might
I think
be
he's
out.
going to be out for another week or two.
Oh, jeez.
So that, but to support your point, gotta find a way. Like Brian Dable's gonna find some kind of way to move the football at some point.
And you got a talented
think,
player,
right? So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going tight end too, and I mentioned this like offhand last week. But my hot take for a midseason breakout is Conklin for the Jets. I think Zach Wilson resurgence means that the tight end is like that, like safe throw. He's already seen an increase in targets the last few weeks. Hasn't made it to the touchdown. Jets in general haven't made it into the end zone. They've been a lot of field goals, but I think there's a lot of target opportunities, 4 or 5 target opportunities for a tight end in that offense.
Perhaps especially if teams realize they really do need to cover Garrett Wilson now.
Right. You got to put 2 guys on Garrett Wilson.
Right.
That opens up, the middle of the field for the tight end.
And this might be a little spicy, but Najee Harris hasn't been good.
Came at us.
Hasn't been good. They got the bye week last week. They're coming back. They got Deontay Johnson back out there, a full offense. I think they might have worked out some things and just be a little bit better. And maybe Najee, that he was in that third round that we were talking about earlier. Maybe he can turn it on.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pretty
You heard
spicy.
it here.
It's hot. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a habanero pepper. It's a Carolina Reaper.
It's a
Ghost
pepper X.
Yeah.
You got that? A new one.
There's a new pepper?
There's a new pepper. They just
Yikes.
passed the Carolina Reaper as the hottest pepper.
Is it
I
like
didn't do that.
because they crossbreeded a
Biologically,
Carolina Reaper
Yeah,
with some other pepper and made it hotter.
even hotter.
It's just what the world needed.
Right.
Yeah.
A hotter pepper.
Science. We're making progress.
Yeah, good, good. All right. Well, those are some hot takes. Maybe keep an eye on those guys. Here we are.
All right. So last
pick 'em.
week, Cam had a 1-3 record. Both Jared and I went 3-1. Actually winning our single pick games, our free games. So the standings, I have a 13-9 right now, which is Cam and Jared. Jared, I think you're like a half game ahead because you're 11-10-1, and Cam is 11-11. So we pick them.
We pick them.
All right.
Start with tonight's game. We got the Jags and the Saints facing off. And yeah.
Pulling it up right now, but I believe I saw the Saints were favored by 2, if I'm remembering this one right. So
In Jacksonville, right?
no, I was incorrect about that. It is in New Orleans. Having trouble connecting to the internet here at Hudson High School, so you got me.
I got
backed up.
FanDuel has Saints favored 1.5.
All right, let's use that number. So Saints 1.5. Jared, what do you got?
I know we're a Saints podcast, apparently, but
That's what we say.
Jags flew to London, got right, came back. They're on a roll.
Just what they needed.
Give me the Jags.
Plus the 1.5.
Yep.
I have to pick the Saints. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, so they got to win this game at home on a Thursday night. Minus, I got to be able to spell Saints first. Minus the 1.5.
Yeah, and I want the Saints too.
Drafting off my picks.
Yeah. No, we talked about some meat on the bone at that.
Yeah, meat
down
on the
there.
bone.
We need Olave to score and Kamara to score and be a get right.
Perfect for a short week. All right. Patriots. Who do they play? Oh, the Bills. 9 points. Is that it? Is that what I saw? And it's in New England, right?
Yep.
In New England.
Is there a number
In
of
New England,
points?
8.5 road dogs.
Oh.
Or home dogs.
Home dogs.
If it was 12, if it was 13, does it sway you at all?
I don't know.
They haven't scored. They
Bills
scored
struggled
3
against
points.
the Giants pretty hard last week.
Yeah.
They only figured it out, scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I don't know. This is my pick. Yeah, I guess you gotta go Bills.
Yeah.
Probably Bills minus the 8.5. All right.
Yeah, until that offense can show us something other more than 3 points in the past.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm gonna go Bills too.
I'm going to this game.
No.
And
Congratulations.
Well,
You gotta pick the Patriots. You're going to the game.
I know. I want
You've
to.
got
I
a
want to
record
hope.
to do it.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm picking the Bills. I'm willing to.
You're willing to take the L.
That's
I'm
when
willing
you get
to.
to see the Bills play.
I'm willing to still. Right. I'm willing to actively root against my record here in this pick.
This is just a 1 o'clock game in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing.
Not like a Sunday night game. Jets are playing against the bye this week, so
Give me the bye. Undefeated.
I think we're
bye
free.
holds.
Yeah,
0 points against.
I think we're free on that one. So
right.
on to our personal picks. So Cam, you go first for this one.
I'm gonna go. I called my Najee shot, so I'm gonna go Steelers-Rams game. What do we got?
Steelers are. I got it at 3. What do you got?
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
Who's home?
So the Rams are at home. They're 3-point favorite. The standard 3 points given to the home team.
Yeah.
So pick them on a regular field, they say.
I'm gonna go Steelers.
So
Coming out of their bye.
Wow. Yeah. 3-2. Somehow finding a way to be in it.
Yeah.
Take those 3 points and run with them.
I will.
All right, Jared, what do you got?
I had a couple options here in my head, but I think the Chargers are unserious people, I'm going to go Chiefs home. I have 5.5.
That's what I'm seeing it at too, -5.5. All right. A lot of not so easy games to pick, maybe. You know what I'm gonna do?
I thought so too.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna jump right on that. Am I? I was gonna jump on the Lions bandwagon, but then I saw Packers are playing the Broncos. The Broncos are terrible.
It's true.
But they're at home, or a tough place to play. Yeah, you know what? Give me those Lions on the road against the Ravens. They keep rolling. They're 5-1. They're going for things. So
I like it.
let's go Lions plus the 3 against the Ravens. All right.
Good stuff.
See how we're at. So only 3 games this week. All right. So Cam, have you been following baseball? Have you been following it all? What's been going on in
Nope.
baseball?
Every once in a while, something on X, and I just scroll past it.
Have you seen this then? The video of, I think it's DeAndre Swift and another Eagles player mic'd up in the front row of the Phillies game.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's never been to a baseball game before, and it's just like at one point, like one of them like shouts at the umpire and calls him ref, like all sorts of. it's I've watched it a couple times. It's pure gold. So yeah, let's update Cam on his picks. So he went Atlanta.
So you had doubled down. The Philly-Atlanta series wasn't over yet. You had doubled down on
We
Atlanta.
gave you a repick, and you doubled down on Atlanta.
And they
it
lost
did
that
not
night.
work out. The Phillies have not lost again since then.
No.
As a matter.
Wow.
And I think they've scored like 75 runs.
Yeah.
Just
Something
keep
stupid.
scoring runs. All right, so currently we sit with the Phillies have a 2-0 lead against the Diamondbacks.
Ooh.
The series is moving from Philadelphia to Arizona. Yeah, so what do we think happens there?
I do love the D-backs, but got to ride that wave with Philly.
Picking
So
Philly.
Yeah,
Picking Philly first time this
and,
postseason.
and already picked Texas, and Texas went up 2 games quickly in
ya.
Houston, and then the series moved to Texas. Houston won last night, so the Rangers have a 2-1 lead in the series. We'll give you a chance to repick. Are you sticking with the Rangers and their 2-1 lead over the Astros, or?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
All
so
right.
we have
Double
a
down.
Philadelphia, Texas World Series.
Can you say Texas? Rangers and the Houston, Texas?
The Texas Rangers.
They're the Texas Rangers.
That's their
There's
name.
no other. They're not associated with the city.
I mean, they're in Arlington,
yeah,
Texas.
But they're the
Oh,
Texas, like the
That's
New
why I
England
just never
Patriots.
realized that.
Yeah, they're or the Arizona Cardinals.
It's like we're Texas
Right.
and
Yeah,
Houston.
right,
You're
like-
also Texas, but we're not. We're not
Yeah.
going to talk about it.
I
It's
mean,
like the
there's-
California Angels.
Yeah, the
back
California
then.
Angels.
I know they switched their names again, but
Just a little weird.
Phoenix Cardinals, right? That was one what they used to be. Now they're the Arizona Cardinals. They're just named after a state,
yeah.
right? What other teams are named after a
Wait,
state?
so Arizona has the Cardinals and the
That's a
Diamondbacks?
football team. The
Oh,
Arizona
oh,
Cardinals
oh,
are a
oh,
football team.
I thought you meant
no,
the
St. Louis has
St.
the
Louis Cardinals.
I mean, Jets and Giants technically.
I guess
they
they're
don't
just
play
like not
in New York
the
City.
state. Yeah, so
This is weird though. Like one would be just named Texas and the other would be a city.
Right. Well,
I don't think that is.
That's what
anywhere
I'm-
else. No.
well, when it was the California Angels, there was the
Yeah, but when
Los
it was.
LA. Right, but
now they're the
I'm
Los
saying it's
Angeles.
happened before.
They
Are
realized
still
it.
the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Was that the
I think they've dropped
they've-
officially dropped the Anaheim
of
I feel
Anaheim?
like.
They're just
Anaheim
Los
Angels,
Angeles
I believe
Angels.
so.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. You don't have to be exactly in the city.
Right.
Like
I mean, it also used to be the Florida Marlins while the Tampa Bay Rays existed.
that's true. And now they're the Miami
Now
Marlins.
they also changed. So maybe a name change is on the way for the Texas Rangers.
I'm calling it out.
all these teams keep
It's
dropping
confusing.
their
Where is Arlington's outside of Dallas, right?
yeah.
You want them to call it the
Dallas
Dallas
Rangers.
Rangers? This doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going off like the Texas Rangers.
That
you
makes
know,
sense.
Right.
Yeah.
like
Just saying, it's like we're
That's
Texas.
like a-
you
that's
guys
like
are
a
here, but
phrase
you're
in of
not us.
itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So well, we got it
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Texas, Philly.
The best part is when this is all over and we're still doing this, and we get to talk to Cam about like free agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
See where people
yeah.
go.
Got Aaron Judge to
Show, I
Cincinnati.
mean, we got Shohei coming up.
Oh man, yeah, this is gonna be a big one. Shohei, the
right.
Red Sox say they're gonna spend. You know, they
Right.
fired their GM. They're ready.
Can't,
to
can't hire a new one.
Actually, you'll appreciate this. Maybe not. The guy that is the current general manager of Philadelphia was the general manager in Boston.
Makes sense.
And they replaced him with the guy they just fired, right?
Right.
But he's known for like big spending,
Right.
not farm system development, getting a World Series, and then the team tanks.
And yeah, team can't
Yeah.
recover.
It's like a tornado.
But can you name any player on either of these teams?
On which ones?
All right, go Philadelphia first. There's
No.
like one guy that's like maybe one of the top 5 stars of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I think I know who he is. I don't know his name though.
Their leadoff hitter played for the Red Sox. Famously couldn't field a single ground ball at first base. And when he did, like, he got a big cheer from the
I remember that.
He like fist bumped it.
Yeah. He was a good sport about it.
yeah, no, I don't. Nothing's coming.
Bryce Harper.
Oh yeah. Him.
All right,
know
how
him.
about Texas Rangers?
Also former Red Sox on the Rangers.
Yeah, weird how all these Red Sox players.
Yeah.
are on.
It's almost like the Red Sox had good baseball
And
players.
then something happened here.
No, I don't know him either.
Oh,
Got to brush up on my players.
Nathan Eovaldi.
pitched a gem the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Postseason hero.
big time player. Corey Seager, maybe the biggest star right now on the team.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
all right. Well, you know what?
we'll work on it.
We'll play this. We'll play this.
Maybe
again
someone will
next
come
time.
up on X.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for us for week 7. Good luck in your matchups, and we'll see you next week.
We got